What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today we return to Gotham City for the final chapter in the Nolan Dark Knight Trilogy, 2012's The Dark Knight Rises, starring Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Gary Oldman, Anne Hathaway, Tom Hardy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Morgan Freeman, Matthew Modine, Ben Mendelsohn, Cillian Murphy, and Liam Neeson. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said during the introduction, we're going to take a look at the final chapter of the Dark Knight Trilogy, the final Batman movie until we move into the DCEU, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. Our movie opens with Bane, a masked terrorist and former member of the League of Shadows, who abducts nuclear physicist Dr. Leonid Pavel from a CIA aircraft over Uzbekistan. Now, it's been 8 years since the death of Gotham City's district attorney, Harvey Dent. Batman has disappeared, and organized crime has been eradicated in Gotham City, thanks in part to the Dent Act, which gave expanded powers to the Gotham City Police Department. Commissioner James Gordon has kept the criminal acts of Dent after his disfigurement a secret and allowed the blame for his crimes to fall onto Batman. Gordon has prepared a speech to read revealing the truth, but he decides not to read it. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne becomes a recluse, and Wayne Enterprises is losing money. Bane sets up his base in the city's sewers and prompts Wayne's corporate rival, John Daggett, to buy Wayne's fingerprints. A cat burglar named Selina Kyle obtains Wayne's prints from Wayne Manor for Daggett, but she is double-crossed at the exchange and alerts the police. Gordon and the GCPD arrive and pursue Bane and Daggett's henchmen into the sewers, while Selina flees. The henchmen capture Gordon and take him to Bane, but Gordon escapes and is found by rookie GCPD officer John Blake. Blake, who is a fellow orphan, figures out Wayne's secret identity, confronts him, and convinces him to return as Batman. Bane attacks the Gotham City Stock Exchange by using Wayne's fingerprints in a series of transactions that leaves Bruce Wayne bankrupt. Batman resurfaces after 8 years while intercepting Bane and his subordinates. Wayne's butler, Alfred Pennyworth, is unconvinced that Wayne is strong enough to fight Bane and resigns in his hope to save him, but only after admitting that he burnt a letter that Rachel had left saying that she was going to marry Harvey Dent. Wayne finds comfort in the new Wayne Enterprises CEO, Miranda Tate, and the two end up becoming lovers. Using stolen transactions, Bane expands his operations and kills Daggett. Selina, now Catwoman, agrees to take Batman to Bane, but instead leads him directly into Bane's trap. Bane reveals that he intends to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's mission to destroy Gotham. Batman fights Bane in a brawl, but Bane defeats him, dealing a crippling blow to his back before taking him abroad to an underground prison, where escape is virtually impossible. The inmates Tell Wayne the story of Raj Al Ghul's child, who was born and raised in the prison before escaping, the only prisoner to have ever done so. Bane traps Gotham's police into the sewers and destroys the bridges surrounding the city. Bane then kills Mayor Anthony Garcia and forces Dr. Pavel to convert the Wayne Enterprises fusion core into a decaying neutron bomb before killing him as well. Outside of Blackgate Penitentiary, Bane reads Gordon's speech to a crowd, revealing the truth about Harvey Dent. Shortly thereafter, he releases the prisoners of Blackgate Penitentiary, instates martial law in the city, and exiles and kills Gotham's elite in kangaroo courts, which are presided over by Jonathan Crane. 5 months later, Wayne escapes the prison and returns to Gotham. As Batman, he frees the police and they clash with Bane's army in the streets. During the battle, Batman overpowers Bane, but Miranda Tate intervenes and stabs Batman, revealing herself to be Talia al Ghul, Raj al Ghul's daughter. Talia activates the bomb's detonator, but Gordon is able to block her signal. Talia then leaves to find the bomb, while Bane prepares to kill Batman. But Selina arrives and kills Bane. Batman and Selina pursue Talia, hoping to bring the bomb back to the reactor chamber where it can be stabilized. But Talia's truck crashes and she remotely floods and destroys the reactor chamber before dying. With no way to stop the detonation, Batman uses his aircraft, the Bat, to haul the bomb far over the bay where it safely explodes. Before takeoff, Batman suddenly reveals his identity to Gordon. In the aftermath, Batman is presumed dead and honored as a hero. Wayne Manor becomes an orphanage, and Wayne's estate is left to Alfred. Gordon finds the bat signal repaired, while Lucius Fox discovers that Wayne fixed the malfunctioning autopilot on the bat. Alfred discovers that Bruce is alive and in a relationship with Selina Kyle. And our movie ends with John Blake, whose legal first name is revealed to be Robin, resigning from the GCPD and receiving a parcel from Bruce Wayne, which leads him to the Batcave. I've said this a couple times here the last few days, and I think I may say it only once more throughout the month. But this has got a lot of filler. It's a great movie, don't get me wrong. The story's well told, but at 2 hours and 40 minutes, there's so much here that could have been cut down. It's funny because the Batman Begins film, the first one in the series, feels like it's very slow-paced. Granted, it's an origin film, but feels very slow-paced, feels like there's a lot of filler at about 2 hours and 20 minutes. The Dark Knight is 10 minutes longer, roughly, but it flows so well that you don't feel like there's too much filler. But then they regress with The Dark Knight Rises, add an additional 10 minutes, so now you're like at 2 hours and 40, 2 hours, 45 minutes, and it just feels to drag in certain areas. I don't know if it's the fact that Bane was the primary villain, with Catwoman as kind of the secondary villain, and then you had kind of Talia al Ghul there as like a third villain. But I've always thought of Bane more as a sidekick character as opposed to the final boss, if that makes sense. I'm not taking anything away from Tom Hardy's portrayal of Bane or the Bane character in general, but keep in mind, 1, not a comic book guy, 2, never really watched Batman the Animated Series. So my only real exposure to Bane is Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin, he's a sidekick. So in my mind, that's what Bane should be, is he should be somebody else's heavy, like he was for Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin. Not the main villain. I just don't connect with Bane in the same way that I can connect with the Joker, the Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, even Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn. Bane just doesn't do it for me. And I think that's part of my problem with this film, is the fact that I don't connect with the main villain. And then they leave the door open at the end of the film for John Blake to become Robin. He's in the Batcave. You know, what's going to happen with him now? Is Bruce still going to be Batman and John Blake is going to be Robin, and they're going to be Batman and Robin, with Bruce kind of MIA, off doing his own thing with Selina? Is John Blake, Robin, going to become Nightwing and do his own thing in Gotham? The ending's very ambiguous there, and they never did another movie in this saga to kind of show you where John Blake went. And I hate cliffhangers like that, because you want to see John Blake don the Robin suit or the Nightwing suit or whatever. I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I thought he was amazing in this film, and I would have loved to have seen him as Robin, as Nightwing, whatever. So, again, don't mistake what I'm saying here. I do enjoy this film. I just feel it's really long where it doesn't need to be. You know, you cut out 20 to 30 minutes of this film and you've got a much smoother, better flowing story. I just feel that Nolan's trilogy in general had way too many moving parts. And the parts that you do care about seem to get reduced more and more with each film. Personal opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know. When it comes to my rating for The Dark Knight Rises, I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5. Again, y'all may think me crazy for that, but I definitely feel like The Dark Knight is the strongest in the trilogy. And then Batman Begins, and then this one. I feel like this is the weakest one in the trilogy, which is sad because it should be really strong in order to wrap up the story. And while it does have its moments, I just don't feel like it truly delivers for me in the way that The Dark Knight did. What do you guys think? If you're out there watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching later in the day on demand, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Whatever you do, though, when you get out there on the social media, let's try to get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meechamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatboyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, when we stick around Gotham City, but we don't take a look at Batman. No. As a matter of fact, Batman is nowhere to be found in this one. This film is all about the Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Robert De Niro, Zazie Beetz, Francis Conroy, Brett Cullen, Carrie Louise Putrello, and Douglas Hodge. You're not going to want to miss out tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right back here on another all-new Renegades Reviews, when we take a look at Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. To all my loyal fans and viewers out there tuning in for the premiere, leaving your thoughts and comments over here, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Likewise, all my loyal fans and viewers that tune in just a little bit later in the day, watching on demand, leaving your thoughts and comments down here. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all my loyal fans and viewers out there. Tune in on a daily. Show me that love. Show me that support. Trying to help me boost my viewer hours up so I can eventually get monetized. Thank you very much for watching and joining me today. And I will see you guys next time.